Inhaling all the way through to the belly. Opening the mouth to exhale. Seeing if you can inhale the most you've ever inhaled. And also see if you can exhale the most you've ever exhaled. Now, as you go through this breath, you can do it with your mouth closed. So inhaling, and then you can close the mouth and just find that hiss in the back of your throat. This ocean's breath, this victorious breath. Maybe you can find the sound of the ocean on the inhale and the exhale. So this is our little victory of the day. We have showed up here to our mats. We've showed up for ourselves. We've showed up for each other. We have community right here, right now, even in isolation. And so right now, this is a little victory. This ujjayi breath, this victorious breath, this is our victory of right now. And so I invite you to stay with this breath as we practice. And you can allow it to be like a wave. I imagine it like a wave washing over me as I face my mind and my thoughts. And just allowing it to wash over you and cleanse out anything that's holding you back. So today, I invite you to notice any little victories you have as we face these challenging poses. We're gonna work slowly to gaining this inversion strength, which takes a very long time. And really, you never make it to the end. So just allowing yourself to relax into the little victories. Maybe you get a moment to float, maybe you don't. Maybe you just try really hard. Maybe you just show up and find your edge, and that's enough. That is a victory in itself. So moving from this victorious breath, we're going to take our arms over our head, inhaling. And then exhaling, just dropping the hands down like a wave. Inhale, gathering up the energy. Exhaling, letting it wash over you. 3 more. Last one, gathering it up. And exhale, just letting go of anything you don't need right now. Slowly making our way into our child's pose. Another little victory of today. Sinking back into our child's pose. Stretching our arms out over our heads and just relaxing down into our hips. Feeling our body, checking in. Noticing how your hands feel, how your toes feel, how your hips feel. And seeing if you can find that victorious breath. On your exhale, just allowing yourself to roll through your spine. So bringing that ujjayi, that wave, that victorious wave, allowing you to just roll through your spine. Rolling through the spine, seeing if you can tap into that breath as you just start to gently roll back and forth, warming up the wrists and the shoulders. Just letting this be a little victory of right now. This connection with our breath. tabletop position, finding our hands underneath our wrists, checking in with your hands, finding your really nice hand alignment. Fingers are spread wide like sunshine. Hands are turned so that the first finger of your mat is aligned with the outside edge of your mat. So they're externally rotated slightly. Pushing down through the L for love of our hand. First finger knuckle and the thumb knuckle. Then we're going to rotate the elbows out and then back so that we find this external rotation of our shoulders. Locking in the shoulder girdle, finding this here. And then we'll go through our wrist push-ups. So pushing up onto the fingers, stretching the hands, and then dropping them down. On your exhale, push up onto the fingertips and then drop them down. Going through 10 of these to warm up our wrists. And seeing if you can turn on that victorious breath here, letting this be a little victory. You are showing up and you are warming up your wrists, and that is fucking amazing. And if you feel so inclined, you can see if you can add in a little bit of arching and rounding as you go through these movements. So it kind of takes a little bit of coordination, but you can find cat and cow wrist push-ups and just add in that spinal movement in with the hands. And then when you've gone through 10 of those, stopping, finding your really nice hand alignment here. So today we're going to work on a lot of tucking. So we're just going to start to find this nice tucked position. The tuck can really help us hold our handstand because it keeps the front of our body engaged. So I'm just going to tuck my right knee into my nose. So feeling this rounding position, tucking my knee into my nose. It also helps me protract through my scapula so my shoulder girdle is really nice and engaged. And then I'm going to inhale and extend backwards, pressing through my heel. Seeing if I can still keep my belly engaged while I shoot rainbows out my heel. So my thigh is fired up, my glute is fired up, everything is fired up, my belly button's pulling into my spine. Exhale, round in. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, round in. Inhale, extend out. I just need to keep going for 2 more. Exhaling to round in. Yeah, perfect. And then inhale, extend. Last one, exhale. Inhale. And then we're gonna add on to this movement. So we're gonna exhale, tuck the knee into the nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it across to the left side of the body, tapping it there. So we get a stretch in our IT band. Inhale back through center. Exhale, tap it to the right of our body. So we strengthen that glute medius. Inhale back to center. And then exhale into your knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. See if you can keep that leg straight and your belly button engaged as much as you can. Exhale over to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale, this time taking it over to the left side. And then sitting your hips back to start to open through your hips. So we're getting a little hip stretch. We're in this like Garudasana modification. And you can just stretch back and forth, just opening up the hips slightly. Noticing the outer hips, the inner hips, how your hips feel. And then we're going to uncross the legs and take this right leg over to the right side, turning it out so that we're in, I'll turn myself like this, so that we're in like kind of a, almost like a warrior 2, but like a tabletop warrior 2. And we'll just start to stretch in to the legs here, just leaning in and leaning out, starting to get in to those inner thighs, Breathing in here. Love the music, Steve. And then sinking down in here, taking our right arm up towards the sky, imagining you are holding like a teacup in your hand. We're gonna just do some rotator cuff strengthening here. So I'm reaching my right hand up towards the sky, and I'm gonna keep the teacup in my hand as I lift up and lift up towards the sky, rotating into external rotation. See if you can turn your fingers all the way out to the side, and my arm bones comes into my ear as if I was doing a handstand here, and then exhale, coming down. And then inhale, reaching it up. So I'm stabilizing my rotator cuff here. I'm going into internal rotation and external rotation. Two more. Really see if you can feel the entire rotation of your arm bone, letting this little bit of awareness of what your arm is doing in space be that little victory of right now. This is a little victory, this alignment that we're finding. Reaching it up towards the sky, and then we're here in our warrior two, and then we'll just flow into our side angle. So my right elbow is going to come onto my right knee, my left arm is going to come overhead, and then I'll reach up into exalted baby warrior. And now, baby side angle on my exhale, turning on that Ujjayi breath. Inhaling, baby exalted warrior. Exhale, baby side angle. Really feeling that side body. Inhale and exhale. Seeing if you can pull your belly button towards your spine and let this be a core strengthener as well as a side body opener. Very nice. Last one. And then bringing both hands down, bending in, and then that right hand's gonna come up, making a big rainbow in the sky, and then threading under as we thread the needle, finding a twist in the spine.
Sorry to interrupt. Your video keeps changing to Steve's.
Really?
How do I keep it on yours?
Ah, I don't know how.
Not that you're not beautiful, Steve.
Steve's very beautiful. Wait, do I go like this?
No, is it an audio thing? Is it because...
Oh, it could be an audio thing. Steve, can you turn your music off just in case it's that?
Or just mute your...
Spotlight video.
Be fine.
Did that work? Am I here for you guys?
Yeah, if you are talking, we see you, and if the music is louder than you, we get the music. So
That's
you
the
just
thing.
need to turn off, you should mute, then everything is fine.
Okay.
Thank you, Alex.
Go team! Sorry, Steve. I get it. I love music too.
Saying that she's trying to join. Mandy Helen, is she in here?
Let's see. I don't have anyone showing up as wanting to join.
Okay, she said she tried.
Let's see. Hold on. Sorry, everyone. Oops. Did I leave? No, wait. Ah! Ah! Am I still here? Okay, wait. Where am I?
One of your posts and said, is anyone getting told the host has yet to open the meeting room?
Oh, that's weird. Tell her to try again. Oh, whoa. Okay. Sorry. She's in?
No.
Tell her to try again, and I'll stay here for a sec.
Okay, great. She said she's here. Lovely.
Okay, thanks. Oh my gosh, I can't even see Victoria, when did you come in? Hi, Victoria. Hi, Mandy. I just didn't know you guys were even here. I don't know how to work Zoom. This is weird. Okay, cool.
I also didn't recognize it. I saw
Like, it was here. Okay, I'm glad I don't have to let people in, that they can just get in. Okay, cool. All right, so back to where we just were, which is...
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the team effort here. So we were here, and this awesome baby warrior taking a twist. So big rainbow in the sky, right arm threads under left arm, big twist. And we'll just flow through this, Seeing if you can tap into that Ujjayi breath as we open up our spine and our hips simultaneously. This is my new favorite pose of the moment. And then inhaling to reach up, and exhale, just coming back into your hands and knees position. We'll take the right leg back behind us, coming into this little, I call it a hip flexor hero. So we've got a hero leg in the front, it's not a pigeon, and my toes are tucked under in the back so that I can fire up my right glute. Then I can go through some cat and cows here, really getting into that psoas, inhaling to reach up with my heart, and then exhaling to look at my belly button, stretching into that psoas. Inhale, heart shines forward. Exhale, looking back. I think it's easier maybe if you can see me like this. Inhaling and exhaling. And then bringing both knees together and coming back into our child's pose, relaxing forward. On the next inhale, rolling ourselves back forward. Same thing, other side. So on our exhale, our left knee is going to come into our nose, rounding forward, engaging the front body, pushing up through the shoulders, maybe kissing your knee. And then inhaling, keeping the engagement of the core as you extend the left leg straight. So this is essentially our handstand body position right here in this tabletop. Exhale, knee to nose, gathering up your core. Keeping your core gathered as you extend and shoot rainbows out the heel of your foot. So you're super active here. The glutes are fired, the belly button's pulling in, the ribs are pulling in. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Last one. Inhale, extend. And then adding on. So we're gonna exhale, knee to nose, really find that engagement of our core and our shoulders. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap over to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, tap over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to right, foot to right. Inhale, center. Exhale, foot to left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, center. This time, exhale, cross the left leg behind the right leg and sink back to open into your hips. You can flow back and forth and just get into the hips a little bit here. And then coming back up onto your right knee. Left leg is going to come out to the left side into this baby warrior two once again. So sinking into that left knee, just warming into that left hip. I gotta keep repositioning myself so you can see me. Sinking into that left hip, just opening and closing the knee. And then this time taking our left hand up as if we were holding something like a teacup in our left hand. And then we'll inhale and reach up, finding that external rotation. The arm bone comes into the ear, the hand is turned out, and then inhaling it back down. So we're warming up our rotator cuff here, reaching it up, arm bone to ear, exhale down. Inhaling it up. Exhaling it down. Seeing if you can find your full rotational capabilities here, finding a really nice external rotation at the top. So my fingers are fanning outwards, away from my head as I come up to the top. Going through 2 more. You guys all know how bad at counting I am. But I think we're pretty much even here. Holding it at the top, we'll flow through our warrior, so our baby side angle, and then our baby exalted warrior. Seeing if you can turn on your Ujjayi breath here. Pulling the belly button in towards the spine, activating the obliques. Your entire core is making this movement happen. And last one. Reaching up and then coming back down. Taking the left hand up towards the sky, making a rainbow in the sky. And then threading the needle, getting into your lower back, into your hips. Finding this really nice spinal hip opener. Taking 3 more rainbows in the sky. Seeing if you can come back into that victorious breath. Reaching it up. And then coming back into our all fours position. Taking this leg back behind us. And coming into our hip flexor hero. So we're in this half hero position, toes are tucked under, belly pulls in, exhale to round, really getting into that psoas, seeing if you can turn on your downstairs glute of your left leg. Inhale, reaching the heart forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, heart reaching forward. 2 more. And then exhale, knees come together, finding our child's pose. Hands come overhead. Breathing into our shoulders. On our inhale, we're going to roll round forward onto hands and knees once again, checking in with our hands, finding this little victory of hand alignment, making sure we're pushing down through the L for love, the first knuckle and the thumb knuckle, tucking the toes under. Then we're going to sink back into this little accordion downward dog. See if you can bring your knees from out to in, allowing you to really gather up through your core, stretch through your shoulders. Maybe you can even find the external rotation of your shoulders here. This is essentially your tuck handstand position right here, right now. So feel that little burn in your core. Breathe into this tuck handstand. And then round yourself forward, rolling as if you were a wave, taking the energy from the legs, and then puffing up the back of your body. Inhale, sink back. Gather up the energy in your core. Exhale, crescendo forward like a wave. Inhale, tuck back. This is your tuck handstand. Exhale, round yourself forward. 2 more. Maybe you can turn on that victorious breath. And notice yourself showing up and really challenging yourself to your edge here. Finding your plank position. And then bringing our knees down. So we've got this knee handstand, or this knee push-up position. See if you can really push through your arms so that your ribs are coming in. We'll take 5 little baby push-ups here. So sinking down, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping the belly all the way down. A little bit more rotator cuff stability, taking the palms up and the backs of the hands down. We're going to imagine that we're turning door handles, so we're going to grab the door handles and then twist them open, and that brings our shoulders open. Then we're going to, again, twist our hands down, so we grab the door handles, twist them open to come up. Grab the hands down, twist them open, and we're slowly working our hands into an overhead position, really working that rotator cuff stability the entire way. And then when we get to the top, we're gonna do little swimmers. So my right hand's gonna reach up as my left leg reaches up, left and right. And just seeing if you can keep your belly button engaged here, and just find that end range stability in your shoulders and your legs. Then taking the hands down so that they're underneath, well, they're outside of the shoulders, but they're aligned with the shoulders. Roll your shoulders up in towards your ears, and then open just the chest. Try not to push this into your lower back. Try to let this be an upper back opener. And then maybe taking the hands out to the sides, flying like a bird. Breathe in here for 3 full victorious breaths. Interlace the hands at the sacrum, and then bring the right ear down and stretch your shoulders up, just as much as you can. Inhale's gonna pull the arms back as we open up through the chest a little bit more. And then exhale, the left ear is gonna come down, and we're gonna stretch through the shoulders. Alternating those for 2 more on each side. And then holding it up, pushing your pubic bone down into the mat, seeing if you can lift the lower belly slightly, but still keep the shoulders lifted. Then we're gonna push down through our hands and lift back up all the way into a plank, and then back into our downward facing dog. Breathing out here, tapping into that victorious breath once again. Noticing any little victories you've had in the past few moments. Maybe you challenged yourself to your edge. Maybe you just haven't quit yet. And then on our exhale, we're gonna practice these little tuck walks forward. So my right leg's gonna reach up towards the sky, then it's gonna tuck into my belly as much as it can, and then it's gonna step. Then my left leg's gonna reach up into the sky, then it's gonna tuck into my belly as much as it can, and then it's gonna step. Then right leg lifts, right knee tucks into my belly and steps. Left leg lifts, left leg tucks into my belly and steps. Nice, guys. Inhale, take your hands into your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, getting into those hamstrings. Shake out your head, relax your neck. Maybe give yourself a little traction to release your spine. The inhale, halfway lift once again. Exhale, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. So really practice your pelvic tilt. See how slowly you can roll up through your spine. So you'll really notice that your glutes start firing. The slower you go, the glutes fire, then the belly fires, then the ribs fire. And it's the slowest time you've ever rolled up in your entire life. It's so extremely slow. And then finally your neck stacks and your shoulders roll back. And then you shoot rainbows out your fingertips because you have arrived in your Tadasana. Taking 1 victorious breath into this Tadasana. Feeling yourself really showing up. And now making ourselves show up even more. We're gonna turn this Tadasana into an upside down handstand. So bring your big toes together. Press your pubic bone forward and your tailbone down. Cinch through the waist, cinch the legs together as if you had a tail. Then we're just gonna take little hip circles, just opening up the outer hips to really allow us to make this handstand position. So little hip circles with our legs squeezing together, trying to keep this posterior pelvic tilt. So my tailbone's reaching down, my lower back is flat. And then making circles in the other direction. You might notice, I notice, because my IT bands are tight, that I feel some opening along the sides of my legs. You may or may not notice that, but either way, we're really getting this nice flat handstand position warmed up. And then holding in here. Now taking our hands onto our ribs, take a big breath. And then exhale and cinch your ribs together. Finding this Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, roll the shoulders up with the ribs tucked and back down into the back pockets. Now keeping these magnets from your lower ribs to your lower hip points, reach your arms up in towards the sky, finding that external rotation that we found when we were doing those teacups. Breathing here, we're gonna do 10 lifts up onto the toes. So we're strengthening our ankles and we're working our handstand. Woo! And then dropping it down. So we're gonna do 10 of those. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I love strengthening my ankles. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then this time we're going to hold it up. Breathing here, finding one point of focus, turning on your Ujjayi breath. Seeing if you can knit those front ribs down towards your hips, flattening out the belly, finding that hollow body, and then maybe taking your gaze up towards the sky. Woo! Exhale, dropping the heels down, taking a side bend over to the right, stretching out the side of the body. Inhale, coming back through center, lifting up once again, finding that focus of your eyes, finding your breath. And then exhale, dropping the heels down and side bending over to the left. Inhaling right back up through center, finding just dropping right back into that focus. And then exhale to fly all the way down, flat back, weight in your toes. Try to keep your hips right over your heels, try not to send your butt back, and come down in this really nice swan dive, giving yourself a hug, celebrating that little victory. Inhale, halfway lift. From here, see if you can gather in the core even more here, and then take the arms overhead so that we're in this handstand position even here. Pull in your core, pull it up a little bit more, knit the ribs together, hold, and then exhale and fold forward, sinking the hips down, sink, 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 all the way down into this like really deep chair, as slow as you can. If you need to come onto your toes here, you totally can. And see how much you can hold this little tucked baby position, this little baby tuck. On your exhale, sitting your bottom down, and then coming up into your boat position. So you can grab onto the back of your knees, roll the shoulders into your back pockets, holding here. And then on your exhale, lower down your boat as much as you can, pulling the belly button in towards the spine, really focusing on that round of the lower back. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, round. Coming into our hollow body boat. Inhale, round. This motion is led from the lower back. It's not my upper back coming down, it's my lower back coming down. And I really want to make sure I'm really pulling this belly button in towards the spine. And then beautiful. Last one. Lower all the way down as slow as you can. Taking the hands down by the sides. We're just going to practice these little tucked booty lifts. So my knees are going to tuck into my chest, and I'm just going to lift my booty slightly. For 5, 4, can you guys see me? 3, 2, 1, hold. Maybe you can push your legs up into this little shoulder stand inversion. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And then bringing the legs overhead into a baby plow, like a baby plow, a real plow. And then compression strength all the way down. How slowly can you roll down here? Really nice and slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Roll, 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 roll. Yes. And then coming back up into our boat pose, we're going to find our blocks. Working everybody's favorite pose, our L-sit. So we're here with our blocks. You can take your hands on your blocks, and then with our right leg crossed in front of our left, we're just going to push down through our toes and push down through our hands and lift our butt up. This is a little victory in itself. Notice this little victory, and if you feel like you want more, you can start to cross the legs in and maybe set them down. Maybe you can rock back and forward. Maybe you can extend and go back. Just working on your full range here, whatever it is today. Taking 5 repetitions of whatever works for you. So you can go all the way from a forward position to a backwards position, or you can just practice the lift. Wherever you're working the same, it has the same benefits, it's building the same muscle tissue, and will eventually become the L-sit. Woo! Last one. Woo! And then celebrate. Take your hands out to the side, do like a little celebration, fairy dust dance. Yay! That was really hard, but we did it anyways. Woo! Okay, and now for our final challenge on this side, we're gonna make our way back however that looks for you. So whether it's just crossing your feet and stepping your way back, or if you're challenging yourself because you're like, I wanna meet my edge, and you're lifting, and then you're just really trying to use as little feet as you can to get all the way back into your plank. Do whatever it is that works for you today. And when you get back, we're going to set our blocks back to the sides and just come into our downward facing dog. Breathing here. Nice, strong downward dog. Seeing if you can find some type of nuance in this pose that you've been in a million times. Can you really find your alignment in this downward dog? Can you push through your first finger and your thumb? Can you find the rotation of the arm bones? Can you pull the ribs up and in? Can you make this into a handstand itself? And then gathering up that wave, coming into our little tucked handstand, and exhaling to round ourselves all the way forward, crescendoing, finding this power in our front body, and then sinking back. 2 more. From the tuck to the wave. Finding our really nice high plank with our externally rotated shoulders and our really stable shoulder girdle. Belly button's pulling up into the spine, legs are together like a tail. Then we'll bring our knees down and we'll go through 5 little push-ups here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking our arms up by the sides, we'll come into our belly bird. So that same way we were grabbing those door handles and then externally rotating the shoulders to allow it to pull our chest open. Do that same thing, but then let the hands be light. Shoot rainbows at your fingertips. Hug the legs together as if you had a tail, and see if you can lift your belly button off of your mat. And then exhale, we're going to find our belly handstand. So taking the arms up overhead as if you were making a handstand on the wall in front of you. Lift your belly button off the floor, push your pubic bone down into the floor, lift your top ribs up, and then breathe here for 5 breaths. This is your handstand. And now keeping this handstand position in the lower body, just take the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes under, keep the handstand in the lower body even more, and then push up with this really nice hollow body position. Exhale back into your downward dog. Breathing here. Then we'll take these little handstand hops forward. So my right leg's gonna come up into the sky, and I'm just gonna do like a little hop. Then I'm gonna switch and just do a little hop. Then I'm gonna switch and just do like a little hop. Whatever type of hops you're doing, that's a good hop. Until you make your feet all the way as close to your hands as you can. And then take your forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Finding this handstand position even here, so the belly button pulls in, the arms come overhead. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, fly all the way up. Reverse swan dive, reaching the hands up towards the sky, coming back up into your upside down handstand position, pressing into your big toe mounds, breathing here. And then exhale, dropping the heels, bringing the hands into the heart, and noticing your little victories. Taking a moment to come back into that breath. Every time we come back to our breath, that in itself is a victory. And then continuing forward on our journey together. Inhale, taking the hands back up, reaching back up into that upside down handstand position. And then this time we're just gonna tuck straight down. So we're gonna keep our heels high, coming in through our chair position, noticing the wobbles and just allowing yourself to sink into the wobbles, because that is what's growing you stronger. Those little wobbles are a part of your process of growth. Just letting yourself wobble, seeing how slow you can go through those wobbles, and then really nicely tuck yourself into a ball, sitting your booty down onto the ground, coming up into your boat pose. Inhaling here, exhaling, low boat. Inhale back up. Exhale, low boat. Inhale it back up. 3 more. Exhale, low boat. Inhale it back up. Exhale, low boat. Inhale it back up. Exhale, low boat. And then see if you can take both hands over to the left. And we're going to take little sit-ups in low boat. So we're just going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to switch sides. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to tuck our knees in, taking our hands down by our sides, and do these little booty lifts once again. So we're just pushing in, tucking up into your little tucked inversion. 1. Seeing if you can turn on your breath. For 2. Maybe you can hear the sound of your breath. For 3. 4. Squeezing the knees towards one another. 5. And then lifting for 6. Squeezing that inversion strength. The legs, those inner thighs are really squeezing. And then coming into your plow pose here. And allowing yourself to lower down one vertebrae at a time, really nice and slowly. Each vertebrae comes down individually, grabbing onto your knees and rocking yourself back up into your boat. Finding your blocks. And we're back to our favorite place to be. The thing that makes you cringe from the inside. So, L sit once again. This time our left leg crosses over our right. And we're just going to push down into the blocks and lift. Holding here. And then maybe rocking backwards and forwards. Whatever your range is, knowing that your range won't always be whatever range it is. It will always be changing. This range always changes, but we gotta be in whatever range we're at right now. Woo! Taking 3 more. Really finding your edge. Like, allow yourself to just push your edge, because that is your victory of today. And then, little victory dance, sprinkle it up, yeah! Maybe a little cheerleader, arms in one direction and the other direction, because we did it. And our little last one, we're gonna tuck all the way through. So, left leg's gonna tuck, your version of getting back into your downward dog. Knowing that one day, we will all be floating without blocks directly into downward dog, and it will be awesome. Finding your downward dog. This is a handstand. Downward dog is essentially one of the preparatory poses for handstand. So can you find your handstand here? Push down through the L of your hand, rotate the arm bones, tuck the ribs in, sink in, find a straight hollow body position here. And then let's actually just come down for a forearm downward dog to stretch into our shoulders. So stretching in here, relaxing your head and your neck and your jaw, and trying to pull the front ribs into the back ribs so that it's this really nice shoulder stretch. You can take your right leg up towards the sky, working a little bit here on your strength. And then you can take your left leg up towards the sky. And now making your way back into your downward facing dog. This time we'll take our right leg up towards the sky. Squaring off the hips. Find the hug of the inner thighs here. This is your handstand position. Right now you're making like an L shape in your handstand. Now hug the knee into the nose. Kiss the knee, push the ground away from you, hold here. And then see how slowly you can set your foot down by your right thumb. Finding that compression strength. Bend the back knee slightly, and then roll up one vertebrae at a time. Really nice and slow. Opening through these hip flexors so the belly button pulls in, the glute engages, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, cactus as you dip the back knee down. Inhale, reaching up. You can straighten the legs completely. Exhale, sink all the way down. Inhale up. 3 more. And then dropping the back knee down. If you need to roll up your mat to make it more comfortable for your knee, go ahead and do that. Keep your belly button engaged. Reach your hands up towards the sky. And then take your right hand onto your right hip and side bend over to the right. Getting into that left psoas. See how much you can engage this left glute. And then coming back up on your inhale. Exhale, taking your left hand down by your front foot. And then lifting the back knee up and taking a big rainbow in the sky, stretching back and reaching back, sinking down, opening the hips as much as you can. If you can, bring your knee down here. You can also put a block under your knee if it's painful. Then we'll take this monkey lunge. So reaching back and just stretching into that hip flexor a little bit more deeply. You can pull the heel in towards the butt and the butt in towards the heel. And see how much you can get into your hip flexors. Maybe turning back on that breath here. Giving them a minute to open up. They take some time. Just give them a minute. And then slowly releasing off of that block. You can move it to the side again. Then we're gonna launch ourselves forward into our front leg. So we're gonna launch into this baby warrior 2 position. Sorry, warrior 3, baby warrior 3. With our hands on the ground. You can have a nice bend in this leg. Just make it kind of comfortable. Maybe you can shake it out a little bit, like relax into it for a second. Then, from that relaxed position, see if you can fire it up. So make it really strong. Shoot rainbows at your heels. Engage, imagine you have magnets on your inner thighs. And then we're gonna dip the left knee behind the right knee. And then extend up towards the sky. Shooting those rainbows at the heels. Exhale, left knee dips behind right knee. Inhale, reaching it up, kicking it back. Sinking in, little Shiva squat. And I'm sweating, I don't know if you guys are. I'm definitely sweating. And last one. And then holding it up here. So now this is the way that I was first able to balance my handstand ever. So I love it. The way it works is that my straight leg is my base leg. That leg never moves. This leg is my tuck leg. And the tuck leg keeps my core engaged so that I don't go backwards. So I don't let it go up like this. That doesn't happen. This knee stays pulling into my core the whole time. So I pull it in and I can balance. So it's that same tucked position we've been working on. You have your base leg and then you have your tuck leg. And then you can work on finding that balance. Let yourself play with it a few times. Yeah, this tuck leg keeps the front body engaged while you find your balance. Woo! La la la. Nice! I can see it! I see someone holding it. Tiny screens. Yes, you guys, fucking epic. Beautiful. And when you're done playing with that, coming down into your forward fold, relaxing, taking the hands under the feet and just pressing out your wrists a little bit. Letting something go. Bringing the toes back together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. And rolling up this time. So roll up, stack your body. Really finding that bone stacking. Rolling the shoulders back into the back pockets and then finding your Tadasana here. Inhaling the hands up. Finding that connection with something greater than ourselves. And then bringing that right back into your heart as you notice any little victories you've had so far. Inhaling, reaching right back up into our upside down handstand. Exhaling to sink down. Feeling the wobbles and going with the wobbles. All the way here into our boat position. Maybe you find your edge, maybe you extend a little bit more in your boat. And then exhale, hollow boat. Inhaling back up. Exhale, hollow boat. Inhale back up. Exhale, hollow boat. And then pushing the hands down, lifting the booty up into your little tucked position for 5. And down. 4. Hugging the legs together. And down. 3. And down. 2. And down. And 1. up into your shoulder stand, letting this be a little victory. You are inverting. And then coming down through your plow and compressing all the way down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And grabbing onto the backs of your knees and then lifting yourself all the way up into your boat position. Finding your blocks and making your way back. So just taking this, making your way back into your downward facing dog. Maybe you do it without your blocks. Whatever you want to do to push yourself, this is your practice. You can push yourself however you want to. Now the left leg's going to come up into the sky this time. So the left leg lifts. Beautiful. And then the left knee is going to crunch into the belly, finding that hollow body position. Push, 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 push. Kiss the left knee. Hold. And then see how slowly you can set the left foot down by the left thumb. Bending into the back knee slightly. Rolling up one vertebrae at a time. So the inner thighs are really leading this action, and then we're zippering up the entire body so that we're super solid. Our midline is really activated. Then we'll dip down the back knee for 5. Inhale up. 4. Inhale up. 3. Inhale up. 2. And 1. Bring that back knee down. Taking the left hand onto the left hip, side bending over to the left. Really activating the right glute and pulling the belly button in towards the spine. So you're really stretching into that psoas. And then taking the right hand down, making a rainbow in the sky as you lift your right knee off the floor, rainbowing back, and then sinking your hips down just as much as you can, getting really deep in that lunge. And then if you need a block, you can take a block under that right knee and stretch back into your monkey lunge. Stretching back and giving your hip flexors this time to warm up, to open up. You can back into it and back out of it. Just maybe closing your eyes and seeing if you can feel your hip flexors and where they might be tighter. Maybe you can find the little fibers of them that need to be opened up. Rocking back and forth into it. Slowly releasing. And then setting the hands down, lifting the back knee up. You can move the block over to the side. And then launching yourself forward into this relaxed warrior 3. Kind of shake it out. Make it relaxed. And now fire it up. So you are a rainbow. And you are shooting rainbows out of every orifice of your body because you're so activated with light. Every orifice of your body is shooting rainbows. And now hug your inner thighs towards one another. Find your hand position. So really take your time to find your alignment of your hands. Then we're going to dip through. So we're going to dip to warm up this leg. Dip the right knee behind the left. And then stretch up. Shoot the laser beams out your heel. Right knee behind the left. Exhale, shooting those laser beams. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. Holding it up, and now is your time. We're going to practice those little tuck hovers. So my base leg is my right leg. That leg never moves. This leg hugs into my belly to help me balance. So this knee stays tucked in, into my ribs to help me balance. So that I don't go over. Hug then. Take 3 more. Really using this tuck leg to help you not go over. It stays reaching you down towards the ground in the front so you don't go too far to the back. Nice. Good job, you guys.
Nice catch.
It was good. And then exhale, giving yourself a forward fold, shaking out your head, relaxing your neck. Give yourself a neck massage. Noticing those little victories. Just trying that is a victory in itself. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Stacking, stacking, stacking. And rolling the shoulders up into the ears, shooting those rainbows at the fingertips. Inhaling, hands reach up. Exhale, bringing that energy into your heart. And just checking in with those little victories, taking a minute to just rewind and finding 3 little victories that you've had. And now if those little victories could make one pose, relatively easy pose that everyone can do, what would that victory pose look like? So now my favorite thing, we're gonna make a little choreography together because we've got a little bit of time. So we're gonna go through it's our little victory dance. We're making a victory dance together. So each person gets to choose an easy pose that reminds them of those little victories. So mine will be this one. This is my little victory pose. So it'll be like this. And then Sweet Brennan gets to add her victory pose. Okay, Brennan.
Saffron's victory pose is this one. Mine will be a little side bend.
The same way?
Yeah.
Nice, okay. So, yes! Saffron Brennan. And then, Amanda. Amanda, show us your victory pose of the day.
My victory pose is gonna be
A
a shimmy.
shimmy. Yeah! Okay, so we've got Saffron, Brennan, and Amanda. Okay, Steve, what's your victory pose? Steve's victory pose. Yes, this is a good victory pose. Okay, Alex, show us your victory pose.
Mine is a child pose.
Child's pose. That's a good one. Can I see everyone? I don't know how to see everyone.
You need to move. You can.
Uh-oh, I got myself into a weird place.
You can swish with the
Grid.
Oh, there's Lucy too. Hi, Lucy.
There's 6. Yeah, there's Lucy. Okay, so I might leave it. So awesome to see you guys. Okay, so we've got, we just had child's pose. So let's do that all together. We've got child's pose. So first we've got Saffron, Brennan, Amanda, and then Steve, Alex, and Lucy. Lucy, show us your victory pose of today.
camel.
Camel.
Ooh.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, I think that's everyone. Unless I'm crazy and I can't see everyone. Yeah, I think that's everyone. Okay, so that's our little victory dance. So let's do it all together. So, Saffron, Brennan, Amanda, Steve, Alex, and Lucy. Yes! Awesome, you guys. I love it. I feel like I'm really with you guys in real life. Okay, so one last little, well, actually 2. Let's do 2 because I think we've got time for 2 because I technically have till 12. Maybe 1. So one really good strengthener wherever you're at with inverting is the block between the thighs. So it's basically a tuck headstand, and you can do it on forearms if you're like, I got this, but it's really hard. So, and the key of it, the trick of it is not to try to get up. It's not about getting up. It's about really activating our midline. So it's about how much can you squeeze your inner thighs, and like, doesn't matter if you get up, because the inner thighs activate those deep transverse abdominals. So it's about getting those float muscles working. So we'll just set up our headstand position with the block in between our thighs. This is the key to inverting, or has been for me, is the inner thighs. So interlace your fingers and make this triangle, taking the top of the head down into the ground, and then pushing up onto the heels. Just check in with your base and make sure you can lift your head up and down. So you're really strong through your shoulders. You can really, like, you're not just dumping all your weight into your head. Your shoulders are really active. And then here, you can just find a nice place for your head to rest while still keeping that energy in the arms. And then you're just gonna hug the block and try to lift one leg up. And then you'll switch. So this is, keep squeezing the block. And you could do 10 of these. I recommend doing 10 a day. And maybe eventually you start to get that float because the inner thighs activate so much that you start to float up. How slowly, even if you're just intending to float, that alone is a little victory. That is a victory.
It's really hard.
It's really fucking hard, but that's why we love it.
This is super hard.
What?
Try this.
Yes, I can see you guys doing it. Yeah, squeeze the block and try to walk your feet in as close as you can to your shoulders. Yes, Amanda, I think I see you. You're right there. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes, squeeze, yes, that's it. Dude, you guys are getting it. Squeeze that block, squeeze it as much as you can. This is your mula bandha. This is like ultimate mula bandha. Don't you just love it?
That was amazing.
Yeah, just take one more and see if you can find a place to hold. Whatever is your edge today, we're gonna hold that for 5 breaths. And then slowly coming down from wherever you were.
Sorry, I need to share it.
Yes!
I did my first handstand.
Yay! Okay, victory dance time. Ready, guys? Victory dance and a victory dance and a victory dance and a victory dance and a victory dance. Oh, guys, I love you guys. Oh, yes, Alex. I love you. I'm so proud.
Look at the smile.
What?
Look at her smile.
I know.
That's awesome.
Alex was just with us in Panama and didn't get to finish her teacher training because of the fucking coronavirus. But we're putting it all online. That's my whole job today, is to put everything online, so it'll be there for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's just do a little cool down because we've only got like 10 more minutes. So we'll just stretch into our chest and our hips. So just taking a minute to come into this like really nice puppy dog position. Breathing into your shoulders. Relaxing your head and your neck and your jaw. And then slowly coming all the way onto your belly. Taking your hands out into a T position. Gazing over to your left and then bending your left knee and rolling over to your right side so that you can stretch into your right pectoral muscles. Just opening up through the chest. way to your other side. Bending into the right knee, rolling over onto the left side. And then coming back onto your belly. Pressing your way back into your downward dog. Taking your right leg up towards the sky. And then coming into your pigeon position. So right knee to right ankle or wrist, upper ankle. And then you can either have the foot at the pointing and reaching down towards your left hip, or you can start to flex it and bring it up so that it's parallel with the top of your mat. Either way, making sure your ankle is turned on, so you're activating your ankle to protect your knee. And then inhaling to lift up as much as you can, really sinking into that hip. And exhaling to fold all the way in. Sleeping pigeon, relaxing for 5 breaths into your hip. Inhaling to come out of this side. Pushing your way back into your last downward dog. Just checking in with this shape. Maybe taking a breath into it. And then inhaling this left leg up towards the sky. Left ankle to the right wrist. Finding your ankle flexed in your version of pigeon, wherever that is today. Pressing up into the fingertips, opening through the chest, and then exhaling to fold down over that hip for 5 full breaths. Slowly making your way up. And then just coming to lie into your back. We've got 3 minutes for Shavasana. I think that the room will close on us. So I just want to say I love you guys right now before we go into Shavasana. And thank you so much for coming. But we'll just roll ourselves down. Rolling down, hugging our knees into our chest. Giving ourselves a really big hug, congratulating ourselves for all of those little victories that we shared today. And then exhaling to extend the legs and the arms out to the sides. And just allowing yourself to soften. Noticing all of that effort that you've put in. How many times you showed up for yourself today already. How many challenges you faced, and the perseverance that you've embodied by continuing to go and try and move and breathe. And just allow yourself this recognition with a little bit of softness. Granting yourself permission to rest, to receive, to be soft. Letting your breath soften into every corner of your body. As you let your fingers curl in, your toes relax. Letting the body integrate all of the benefits of this practice. And letting the mind also integrate all of the benefits, this optimistic mindset, these new pathways, Sink into your body and let go. And then softly coming back into your breath. Coming back into your body. We're still here. It didn't cut us off. Taking a minute to slowly come up into your seat. Oh, yay. I love this part. Okay, so just finding ourselves in our seat for 1 minute. Bringing our hands into our hearts and taking a breath together in our hearts. Bringing our hands to the space between our eyebrows and taking a really big breath into our minds. And then reaching all the way out and around and up. Feeling that connection to the divine, to a power greater than ourselves. And then bringing that back through our minds, and then all the way back into our hearts. Feeling connected from earth to sky and sharing one Om together, that sound of connection. Even though we're not physically connected, we are spiritually connected always. Inhaling deeply. So amazing sharing the morning with you guys. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you very much.
Oh,